All right, thank you for tuning in for April 13th, 2022. My drawing for today, my live Christmas drawing. With this weekend coming up, it's Easter, so I'm going to do a mashup, an Easter Christmas type of picture. I guess it all depends on your thoughts on the movie. I'm going to just start sketching here, but while I'm talking. So basically, this is from a movie. A lot of people consider it a Christmas movie. A lot of people consider it a Halloween movie. But I'm going to add a little twist to it in a little bit. So no need to worry there. So I'm going to draw the first picture big, then I'm going to shrink it down a little bit because I do have an idea to add a little bit of a Christmas element to this, which I will do in a little bit. So I'm just going to start my sketch here, then I'll talk a little bit about what it is. But as I said, it's a Christmas slash Halloween movie, so I'm sure you know what it is. As usual, just starting out with the sketch layer. I'm going to move that eyeball over a little bit there. Didn't like that location. Make sure all my stuff showing up on the computer today because of what happened last week. I might shrink down that logo there I have in the corner. I didn't realize I had it that big. I think I have it. Let me go to the all all in picture here. Yeah, there we go. It's a little smaller there. So we'll leave this one up for a little bit. So this will be my version of the Easter Bunny from The Nightmare Before Christmas. That classic scene where Jack sends the Oogie Boogie's boys out to go bring Santa Claus to them, and they mess up because they don't realize that there's other holiday trees. So they accidentally go into the Easter one and bring back the Easter Bunny. Don't really know why I'm talking about the plot of The Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm sure everybody has seen it by now. So he's got his Easter basket here full of eggs. Now, if you haven't seen the movie, which again, I'm sure everyone has by now, the Easter Bunny jumps out, and one of the villagers or townsfolk from Halloween Town with an axe in his head kind of scares the crap out of him, and he jumps back in his little bag. And then Jack tells Lock, Shock, and Barrel to bring the right creature. Apparently, I'm on Eraser there. I still have yet to figure out how that does that. All right, sketch layer. Oh yeah, he does wear. I guess it's just so you know where he's from. He wears a little banner ribbon around him that says Happy Easter, just like a sash, I guess. And that's basically all there is to the Easter Bunny from the movie. Not too much. So I'm going to add a new layer, and we'll start inking it. Let's see where we're at here. I'm going to zoom in. I think I'll start with this ear first, since it's going to go onto the head like that. And then the nose will just stick out a little bit. We'll we'll come back and do that in a little bit here. All right, so in this ear, you'll see the inner ear color. That ear, maybe a little bit I'll put on there, but not too much. All right, so working foreground to background here, we'll do this little paw. I guess I'm going to make it like that, so it looks like he's actually holding on to the basket. And let's see. It's that other little paw we'll have right there. Do the ribbon on the front of the basket. Then the eggs will basically cover what you would see around the back. All right, now we could do the sash. I think I'm going to erase a little bit of this upper arm there. I missed the mark on that one. Jeez. All right. Then if you try to think if Christmas or Halloween, what color this is, and then what you could tie in with Christmas to this, if you kind of get what I'm going for here. But if you are watching live and you have the ability to type, what are your thoughts on Nightmare Before Christmas? Is it a Christmas movie in your eyes, or is it a Halloween movie? All right. So he does have like a white belly and kind of like white underside to him. So I'll just do that with the coloring. So for now, we're going to eliminate the pencil layer. We'll get rid of that. We'll reference this layer, add a new layer, and then we'll start laying in some color. So more Halloween. Yeah. I mean, like if you think about it, the whole place, except for like 2 minutes, takes place in Halloween Town. So it is definitely more Halloweeny, and it is before Christmas, and Christmas is there for one day. So yeah, I definitely kind of lean towards Halloween myself. All right, I did that on the wrong layer now that I just realized that, but that's all right. We'll see what happens. All right, so Easter Bunny, pink. We're going to see if we could drop in the pink color here, and then we'll lightly come in with white, and we'll add the white tones to them. All right. Then let's see. What I think I'm going to do, oh, forgot a spot. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do the automatic select tool. Select all these areas here. That way I don't have to worry about overspray. And then I'm going to go to white. And I think I'm gonna airbrush. Let's see. We'll do soft, and I want to see how this looks. Yeah, it's not bad. All right, I think I'm going to stick with that. So he'll have a little bit of white underneath and white stomach here. Let's do a little bit on the tips of his hands. A little more there, a little more there. That was a little too big. We'll do a little bit on the top of his leg. I seem to have oversprayed a little bit on his foot. So what I think I'm going to do is just refill in that foot because I don't really want any down there. And I'll go to a lighter pink. I'll unselect that, and then I'll just drop fill in these parts of the ear. So I kind of like the way that airbrush looks. It's kind of the look I'm going for. So now we'll do the sash. That's more of a, we'll say like a brownish, tannish color. And then for some reason it says Happy Easter. Probably in red. We'll go to calligraphy brush here. It's not going to obviously all fit here, but we will fit parts of it. That's good enough. And we'll do the Easter basket. So we'll give him we'll do a blue ribbon on the basket. Color that part in there. Oh, I'm still on calligraphy. There we go. And the basket itself, we'll do a darker brown. Don't know why it switched to eraser again. All right, we'll fill all these spots in. I see one mistake I made here. Let me go back to the outline layer, go back to the black. I forgot that line. Back to brown, back to the color layer. Fill that in, and a couple more spots here. All right, then the Easter eggs themselves, we'll do a couple different designs. We'll just do, let's see. We'll give this one some orange spots. We'll do, let's do a red candy cane theme on this one. We'll do one, let's fill one in green and put some red dots on it. Kind of just looks like it has a disease. And we'll do, yeah, what the heck, we'll do a light blue with some yellow swirls. All right. We'll add a little texture to the basket. I think we'll do that back on the reference layer. I don't really want to sit there and draw all the weaving, so we'll just kind of do like a little bit of a wooden look. I think this would probably have a line there. I must have forgotten that. The handle will kind of wrap it like it's wood or whatever. Whatever that stuff is that they used to make Easter baskets out of back in the day. All right, so I think that looks good for your base coloring and all that. So now I'm going to add the shadow layering. So again, we're going to drop this above the color but below the reference layer. We'll lighten this up a little bit, and we'll just start tackling this. I think he has a white tail, Easter Bunny in the movie. I could be wrong though. You don't really ever see him like really good. You see him for a split second, and then he jumps back in the bag. Let me blend that a little bit so it's not so hard. Okay. A little bit of shadowing under there that we could blend. This leg's going to be a little bit darker since it's obviously set back, and then we'll do the tops of the toes. We'll leave lighter. Oops. Do a little bit under the arm. This arm set back farther, so that'll be darker. The handle. I'm going to do a couple of lines on this just to really darken it up. Inside of the basket, we'll do a couple passes there. We'll do each egg. If you don't do anything and you leave something flat looking, it's going to stick out like a sore thumb. So that's why I always hit up every part, just so it at least is all tied together. Okay. Do a couple of lines coming out of the bow like that. And let's work on this. Blend that in just a little bit. Probably have a line under that. Above that. Under his neck for sure. Try to soften it a little bit. All right, this back ear. And I guess the interior part of the ear here as well. And my cat just opened the basement door, came in. Must have got sick of sitting outside. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of shading around the eye. Then we're going to go back to the reference layer. Whoops, slop them up a bit. There's the cat. Told you he came in. Hey, buddy. All right, let's put a few straggler hairs up here on the ear. Definitely some coming off the elbow. Some toe hair. And do a couple more little lines there. All right, so I'm thinking that looks pretty good for him. So now what I was thinking of doing, which would kind of tie it into Christmas. So for a second here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to combine the reference layer, the color layer, and the shading layer. So all I got to do on the iPad, it's going to be hard to see, but I just pinch all three of them together. So now they're all one layer. So now I'm going to copy it. Then I'm going to undo that so I keep all my layers separate. I'll add a new layer, and then I'm going to paste it. Hopefully it works. Okay, so now with this layer, I'm going to flip it that way. I'm going to shrink them down. Then, actually I have to go back and combine these three again, because I want to shrink that down and move it. All right, so I'm going to move this one here. I think I'm going to have to leave them all together now, unfortunately, just because of the way I did this. But we're going to go back to this layer, the second rabbit that I made. And I'm going to do a little bit of work on him. So what I'm going to do to tie this into Christmas. Now this is experimental, if you will. So I'm going to erase his face here. Let me erase that eyeball. Then I'm going to go back to my ink pen, pencil, whatever. Okay, now I'm going to create a circle like that. Then I'm going to erase some parts of the feet here. I'm going to fill this in like that. So basically, I'm just taking the toes away because what I'm going to do, let me see, I lost the color pink, so what I could do is just pick up the color. All you have to do is that, and then it'll pick it up. So I'm going to color this back in. All right, I slopped it up a little bit, but you'll see what I'm doing here in a second. Whoops. Which it might be already pretty evident what I'm doing. Is that the correct word? I don't know. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put 2 eyeballs here. Let's see. We'll do a little nose. Then I'm going to add some ears. Now, I don't think it will work if I drop fill that in. So what I'm going to have to, just because of the way I did this, just trying to do it quick on live here, I would have done this differently if I was doing this upstairs or whatever when I had a little bit more time. But what I'm going to do is just color these in. Then I'll go back and re-outline them because I would have done stuff on separate layers if I was doing this the other way, but this way still works. It's just a little bit more work because I'm covering up stuff that I don't want to, and I'm going to just have to retrace it. But that's all right. So we're going to go back to the black, and we'll redo some of the stuff so it just looks a little cleaner. I think I wanted this part pink right here. So that'll be the ear on this side. The ear on that side. All right, we did that. Now up here we're not going to do anything too detailed since I'm already 25 minutes into this. So what we're going to do up here, we're going to fill that in hopefully. Okay, that stayed. Now we're just going to go with simple black. And we're going to just keep this pretty vague, just to get the point across. Do some swoops of hair. And we'll go with a more brown color here, and then we'll just do that. Back to the black. We'll just do little dots. And we'll fill his hair in a little bit yellow in a minute here. All right, now we'll do a blue, but we'll go lighter on the opacity, put a little glare for glasses. Go back to yellow. Color in some of this hair. Then we'll go do a little bit of shading because of the new stuff I added. I want to shade it up a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Again, like I said, I'm just kind of doing a quick sketch just to go along with the first one, just to give it that extra Christmassy element in case people didn't think it was a Christmassy enough picture because of Nightmare Before Christmas. All right, I think that's gonna do it. So there you got your juxtaposition. Oh yeah, I think I might have done a Louise from Bob's Burgers picture before, but I went with, oh, look at my shirt. There was a clue in front of you the whole time. So yeah, we went with Ralphie in his pink nightmare PJs. So now I'm gonna just do a little splash of color for the background, just because I have to do something. Well, that's not gonna work. We'll add a new layer, and we'll do it that way. I'm gonna put it behind everything though. Yeah, sorry, my voice. Louise Belcher would be a good one. All right, let's see what we could do here. Since it is Halloween, or I mean Easter coming up, we'll do some pastel-y. We'll just do some splatters. I always enjoy the splatter. Let's add a couple of them. I guess I do have to move it up to the top. All right, then I think I should do a little bit of shading underneath them, just so it doesn't look as weird. Don't want it to look like they're floating. So now we're going to go back to ink real quick. Syrup. Make this a little bit bigger. I'll just put this underneath them. That way they just don't look like they're floating in outer space. All right, then we're going to go to calligraphy. We're going to sign it. And this beast is done. I kind of like that it's behind that layer, so I'm going to leave it like that. And today is the 13th, right? Yeah. And let me just bring it up here on the screen to get my face out of the way. That's what she said. Oh boy. All right, so here we go. We got, don't want to do that. Got to use two fingers to move it around, otherwise you draw. So we got the Easter Bunny Nightmare Before Christmas mixed with the worst rendition of Ralph from A Christmas Story in his pink PJs. So that's going to do it for this week. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Hope you guys all have a good Easter, and make sure you come back here next Wednesday, same time, same place. Check out the YouTube channel, I'll have stuff up there, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Both of those are at Ague Designs. And until next time, have a good weekend. Happy Easter, and thanks for watching.